Wait for it. Blowing up a hair. Oh, wait. Oh. Pure satisfaction, my friends. Pure satisfaction. Hopefully that doesn't get flagged for sexual content via YouTube's community policies.
Hell yeah, brother. You're on the Cleetus McFarland YouTube channel.
It's a brisk, bright and early 40 degrees out here in Florida. Freaking freezing. But RIP my neighbors. I gotta fire up Leroy right now. Leroy, try to use your inside voice, buddy. What's up, guys? Today we are swapping a clutch into Leroy, as well as maybe checking out the oil pan and doing some work to that. Since the new shop isn't ready, I'm heading over to Jeremy's right now. We're gonna be working there majority of the day. Hopefully we can get this stuff swapped over quickly. The new clutch is really sick, and I'm hoping to get that in and then go racing this weekend. We're gonna go let it rip, tater chip, I tell you what. But I'm almost to Jeremy's. See you there in a minute. Alrighty, folks, let me give you an idea of what we're up against today. To pull the clutch out, which is all the way up there, we gotta take that off. We gotta drop the transmission and diff out. We gotta pull the torque tube off and the bell housing, and then we will swap the new clutch in over here. Now, we talked about doing the oil pan on my car because I have this junk like Batwing C5 oil pan, and we're having an issue with the oil all evacuating from it. But we put some trap doors in it, so I want to give that a shot before we actually switch pans, because it's a huge endeavor. You have to drop the whole front subframe, and I just remembered we have to weld in some AN fittings for my turbo oil drains before we put this on. So later this week I'll probably take it up to ProFab, have those fittings put on so that these oil drains have somewhere to attach to that oil pan. But for that reason, it looks like we're gonna have to wait to do the oil pan another time. So today we're just gonna be doing the clutch, which really shouldn't take Laz and I very long. As you guys know, I've dropped the rear subframe on this car about 49.6 times. Should really be simple enough, but let me show you guys this clutch because it is sick, and I'm really excited to try it out. It's kind of cool because Monster and I are working on, finding out what is the best clutch for what we do. I mean, we turned out 122 60 foots with the prior setup. Let's see what this clutch can do. We had a twin disc before. This is a triple disc, so let me show you what we have here. Alright, so here's our new clutch. If you guys remember, we had the LT1RR twin disc. This is the LT1RR triple disc, rated for 1500 plus horsepower for monster clutches. We're also doing a new slave in the car. We have a stock style one in there now. Also with a tilt-in clutch master cylinder. And this bad boy was supplied by Tick Performance. Definitely going to be a big part of our project today, but well worth it. These guys hooked it up, and we're excited to try this bad boy out. It's getting serious, guys. This clutch and the cylinder and master cylinder setup is going to be a lot better for Leroy. Hopefully be able to handle as many bald eagles as we'll be throwing at him this weekend, shooting for that 7-second pass. I'm pretty excited to pull the clutch that we've had in there for so long out and finally see what the damage looks like on that thing. We have put that clutch through some absolutely savage abuse. We've had it on the car for what, 6 or 7 months. Actually, I think 7 or 8 months now, so it has seen better days for sure. Plenty of launches with extremely hard 60 foots. I mean, we're talking sub 1.3s, so get that out here in a minute, and then we will start putting the new one in. We got a little bit of work to do as far as putting in the clutch master cylinder and adjusting the new slave with some shims and whatnot. So we're gonna get right to it. Time for a time lapse. Alright guys, cradle is down. That means it is time to pull the trans and diff. And eventually the torque tube. I gotta get up in the car right now and disconnect the shifter from the transmission. And then just gotta pull that puppy out. She's a heavy one, but so many bald eagles and freedom. This thing's really held together. So let's get it down real quick. Start working towards that clutch. yes, the RPM transmission's America transmission is out of the car. She is dirty. Dirty girl. I'm gonna get this thing a little bit cleaned up before we put it back in the car. All right, so the way I set up the fuel lines, if you guys remember, I went on the bottom of the torque tube. So we're at a point now where we actually can't get the torque tube off because fuel lines are hanging underneath. So we gotta disconnect some fuel lines, which is kind of a mess, but it's not that big of a deal. All right, we got the torque tube out. This old guy is going goodbye. I'm gonna put it in a storage container. I'm sure we will use this on a future project. Still in decent condition. We put this on when we first put a clutch in Leroy, so it's not that old. Well, bottom of the bell housing is off, and I actually found the clutch. Here you can see it now in powdered form, stuck to the bottom of the housing. That is thick. That is the clutch right there. It's gone. All right, guys, so the old Monster LT1RR is out. As far as the discs go, they don't look like they're in the worst of condition, but there's definitely a couple of hot spots on there, you know? She might have gotten a little warm on one of the runs, maybe when it did the 122 60 foot. I don't know. Do you guys think it got a little hot? Perhaps. Perhaps, for sure. So we're gonna send this back to Monster so they can check it out and hopefully refurbish it and give it to us as a backup clutch. There's the flywheel, also might have gotten a hair warm. We're replacing that too. So I just laid upside down in the driver's footwell for about 10 minutes getting this clutch assembly out. We're gonna be mounting the new clutch master cylinder right here. So just mark the holes. We're gonna drill some 3/8 holes, then that'll mount on there, put it back in the car. As far as the clutch master cylinder swap out, that's pretty much it for there. Laz is working on putting the new clutch in, and we're just kind of knocking this out as we go, you know, getting her done. Look at the new one in all of its beauty. I don't want to touch it because I got in trouble that one time I touched my clutch in the video. But oh my Lanta, she is beautiful. Woo, baby. Can't wait to let her rotate her chip with that thing. All right, definitely skipped some film there because I was up in the car for like an hour upside down in the footwell. Laz pretty much has the clutch in. We're gonna start throwing this car back together, get this thing rolling. I'm gonna probably do some street driving tonight or tomorrow, wearing the clutch a little bit, and then we'll go to the track and just freaking give her the beans. All right, so when you do a clutch, you get these clutch alignment tools, and you can align the clutch decently, but I mean, even now, you can see it was just in there, but now it's not. But we usually use this, and we get it kind of tight, and then we put the torque tube in to verify that it is actually aligned correctly, and then we tighten and torque it down. And then, you know, you avoid putting the bell housing on and all that, and trying to put the torque tube in and running into an alignment issue. So we're gonna start jacking with that right now. Okay guys, so we have the clutch in. We had to modify the bell housing. The lines for the new Slave did not work with our current bell housing setup. There's two little gaps for the bleeder line and the hydraulic, the supply line to go through the bell housing. Well, they didn't fit, so we modified that. Finally got it in. Everything's hanging and stuff still, but the torque tube is in. We got to clean this up, start running lines back, putting them back together, put on the bottom of the bell housing, and then pick up everything and try it. I mean, that's all you can really do is just try it. Show you guys some pure satisfaction when the trans and the torque tube collide. All right, so watch right there when it goes clunk and they meet. Wait for it. One up a hair. Oh, wait, oh. Pure satisfaction, my friends. Pure satisfaction. Hopefully that doesn't get flagged for sexual content via YouTube's community policies. Looky there, folks. Cradle is back up. Fuel system is coming back together. Got it all plugged in. Got to tuck it away. Put the underbody tray on. Got to hook the suspension back up. Then we got to bleed the clutch and try it. See the moment of truth. See if all we did today was worth it. Dun, dun, dun. So currently we are vacuum bleeding the clutch. This is a remote bleeder that we installed. It's been on the car for a while, but it's very convenient. I'm doing some clutch pumping here in a minute. Just kind of letting the air get out of the system real quick before we manually bleed it. That new master cylinder is very smooth and the slave feels all right. So this we'll find out here in a minute if she's worth the while. Oh, looky there. All right, so that's in. Push it in. See that in there, guys? See the slave moving? All right, let it out. Push it in. Very cool. Here, let me try and hold the camera more steady. Here you go. See that pushing in, guys? That's called a slave. And he's got the clutch pushed in and then out. And that's what engages and disengages the clutch. So we got to throw the bottom of the bell housing on still, but pretty neat. Well, guys, we got an absolute classic here. Put the car all back together, and looks like I caused a little issue here. So I had to clearance my bell housing for the slave cylinder line right there, or for the slave line. And now I didn't clearance it far enough, so it pulled on the line and actually messed up the crimps. So every time the clutch goes in, that line hits the bell housing and leaks. So what that means is the entire car has come all the way back apart. That means drop subframe, transmission, everything again, pull the slave off, and go get a $10 hose fixed. That is where we're at. That is what I just did. So really just a fantastic feeling on that one. Got it all together, everything works, and then a line breaks. And there's really nothing I can do about it besides take it apart and go fix it. So looks like I'll be spending tomorrow doing the same exact thing I did today. Another fantastic 10 to 12 hours of sheer fun. But this is what this sport is all about. There are ups and there are downs. It's not like I'm just not going to tell you guys about it. So that's how we got to end off today's video. Definitely on a low note, but it is what it is. So such a depressing topic. Such a depressing topic. But I guess I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'll try and make it more lively and get this thing fixed, and then we'll go tear it up or something. So thanks for watching. Do it for Dale. We'll see you later.